Hello everyone. Today we're going to learn how to crimp the Molex connectors onto the DLM shading shade bus wire. So this is the shade bus wire here. It's a 4-conductor. 2 conductors are 16 gauge, 2 conductors are 22 gauge. And this can be found on the DLM shading shade bus wiring components cut sheet. We have a number of different pre-configured cables that have connectors already attached, but for custom applications we offer shade bus wire in bulk, crimps, crimping tool, and the Molex connectors. So let's talk about what's needed. We need this is the crimper that's offered through Legrand shading. It's a Stanley crimper. Of course you need a wire stripper that's not offered through Legrand. And then of course the crimps themselves. So we have 2 different size crimps because we have 2 different size wire gauge. So we have 18 to 24 gauge crimps. And then of course the 16 gauge crimps. And lastly we have the actual Molex connectors themselves, which looks like this. And so let's talk a little bit about what these Molex connectors look like. And you can see that there is the flat end here, which is what inserts into the Molex, the plastic Molex, and it makes connection to the female end. And then there is 2 wings. There's one wing here and one wing here. The inner wing that connects to the copper wire, it crimps onto the copper part of the wire that's stripped, and then these wings crimp onto the actual insulated part of the wire. So the wire itself is stripped about 3 millimeters or so to allow for the dual connection. And then looking at the actual crimper itself, you can see that there is one side of it has numbers, and these numbers correspond to the size of the crimps. And for this crimping we use a 0.5 to 1 as the size. And then if you look inside, it actually has ramps. So there's a ramp here and a ramp here. And if you close it, you can see on the number side that there's an opening, and that's where the crimp end or the flat end comes out, and then there is the actual crimp end, crimp side. So let's crimp a wire and show you the technique. So I ratchet the crimper down and insert the crimp in so that the wings for the insulation are still outside of the crimper itself. So this is a 2-step process, and then I insert the wire, copper end in. Sometimes a little difficult. There we go. Insert, and then of course tightly ratchet it down, and then I like to trim off a little bit of these wings here because sometimes they seem a little long to me. Trim a little here, a little here. And then you insert the whole wire, whole crimp in with those wings into that bed, and then ratchet it down and crimp onto the actual insulation. So then you can see we have a nice crimp here. We have on the insulation, and we have here, tug on it, and it should be stable. And then lastly, what you do is and you follow along with the actual pinout here from the cut sheet, and so follow along the wire colors. Black goes down here, and I insert them with the crimp side up, and these wings over here will catch inside the actual connector, and you can hear it kind of snap in, or you can feel it snap in. And then do the next wire, and sometimes you need a little bit of a needle nose pliers to make sure everything is snug inside there. You definitely want them to be inside and not able to come out. And then of course you insert all the rest. Once you have everything crimped, insert all the rest and you're done, except for one step. And so the last step is actually testing the wire. And so in the same cut sheet we talk about the LMSH SB test. So this is an end of the line tester for the crimped wire. And so one end connects to the tester and one end connects to the power supply. Power supply has to be powered up, and then there'll be go no-go lights that light up on the tester to ensure that the continuity and the connections on the cable bus wire or the shade bus wire are correct. So that's it. That's how we crimp wires for Molex wires for DLM Shade bus. If you need more information, visit us at www.legrand.us/shading. Thank you.